So my name's Kevin Baker. I was in the Army for 8 years, and I went to Iraq in 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. And we're gathered here today to mark the 10th anniversary of the criminal invasion and occupation against the people of Afghanistan. And so let's take a minute and reflect on what this 10 years has brought the people of Afghanistan, the U.S. service members, and our friends and families here in the United States. In Afghanistan, during these past 10 years, you've had tens of thousands of people that have lost their lives, hundreds of thousands of people that have lost their lives. On top of that, you have millions of human beings who have lost their limbs, their eyesight, and face psychological trauma for the rest of their lives. What's happened in the United States? We have no jobs, we have no education, our education is declining, and we still don't have a single-payer healthcare system. How is it possible in the wealthiest country in the history of humanity, we're incapable of providing education and jobs for our own people? On top of that, you have 1,700 service members who have lost their lives in Afghanistan. You have 40,000 service members who have lost their limbs, who have lost their eyesight, and are charged with PTSD and traumatic brain injury. So, we should ask ourselves, what's going on with these wars? Why are we fighting these wars? Why is it impossible to get a coherent explanation from the politicians that ask us to die? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because they use service members as poker chips, hoping to cash in and win a jackpot of billions of dollars for their rich friends on Wall Street. We know that over 2/3 of the American people are not in agreement with these wars. We know that 2/3 of us, the working people of the United States, completely disagree and demand an immediate withdrawal of our brothers and sisters in uniform from occupying the people of Afghanistan. Why is this not happening? How is it possible in a country that celebrates democracy and claims that it's bringing democracy throughout the entire world, it doesn't listen to its own people? It's because it's not a government for our people. It's not a government of the students. It's not a government of the workers. It's a government of the rich. For the first time in the history of the United States, you have tens of thousands of brave students, of brave workers, of brave vets, of brave service members who are realizing that it makes no sense to blame a single politician. It makes no sense to blame a single president.
Yes.
In my second deployment to Iraq, I realized something. In 2008, when I returned, I realized that the insurgents and the real terrorists of the American working people don't live in war-torn countries in the Middle East. They don't live in bullet-riddled homes and go to bombed-out schools. They reside in some of the most wealthy communities in the United States of America. We know that the real terrorists, the real insurgents against the people of the United States are in this government, they're in Congress, and they're in Wall Street. We're calling to all of our active duty service members and vets to refuse orders to these criminal occupations that have taken so many of our lives, that have taken millions of Iraqis' lives, hundreds of thousands of Afghan lives, taken 700 million of our tax dollars, our surplus value, our public money, and used it to fund defense contractors that line their cowardice pockets with our blood.
$700 a day that we're wasting to kill other vulnerable people in a much better manner in the United States for school and education and housing. And so I mean, there's more and more service members every day that are, refusing to go to Iraq and Afghanistan. And it's not out of cowardice, it's out of patriotism. Because they recognize that we're not doing anything for them. All right. Nice talking to you.
All right.